Okay, it's March and almost spring, so I'm going to do another book haul because I have been amassing some books. No music this time. I was watching the last one back to make sure I didn't include any books again, and I found the music actually very annoying and distracting, so apologies. Sorry. The time is 59 minutes to 1. We are drinking London Pride. So I guess you get a bonus beer review. Oh, that's not good. Oh. All right. As a bonus DVD, too, I got drunk and bought Sierra, the DVD. I think you basically get... who cares? No one really cares. All right. We're here for books. I'm reading this one, kind of. E.M. Forster, the timeless classic on novel writing. Basically like 5 to 6 chapters. You know, character, plot, that kind of stuff. It's somewhat illuminating, maybe. I've never read any of his books. I have one on my shelf, though, The Passage to India, I think it's called. All right. I may have said this one. WizMob. Anyway, this is apparently like a an ethnography about pickpockets. So, pretty cool. There's a book by a Japanese guy called The Thief that uses this as like a citation, basically. So the author kind of read this and used it as like info to write about pickpockets. So excited to read that because The Thief was a really good book. Ivan Agueli, Sensation of Eternity. Interesting guy. He's from like Norway in like the turn of the 20th century. And he converted to Islam, and then he was a painter. He's a known and respected painter of, pictures, not houses. And he died wandering around Spain. He got hit by a train. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But this is just some of his selected writings. Kind of interesting. All right, Writing on Water. This is a book about a guy being guided by a sheikh on the Sufi path. I read the intro and, I'll read that, here and there. Another awesome, I haven't read it yet, but I like what I have read by Byung-Chul Han. Good Entertainment, a deconstruction of the Western passion narrative. So I've talked about these little books before. I like these. So I'm excited to read that. All right, let me This is an Autismo book. This is How to Read Bridges, a crash course in engineering and architecture. It occurred to me that I really like bridges. And this book kind of, explains the history of bridges. There's just like case studies of interesting... As you can see, though, the format of the book is a little odd. I wish it looked more like this next book. Hawks from every angle. See, this would be much better to learn about stuff in. Look at how big and easy, So this is about identifying hawks in North America as they fly, or from every angle. So how to identify them in flight. Really cool book. I love watching hawks. So I need some binoculars, though. That's what I need. All right, Pierre Louis. I just found this book at Half Price Books. I've only read some of his stuff in this book that I got. It's it's a dirty book, as you can see, erotic. But this publisher, they put out just nice stuff. They're expensive though. Like if you order these from France, they're like, to come here, you're spending like $60. But this is just a bunch of all of his erotic writings, and like I showed some friends once, one of the weirdest things is he has like literally a catalog of every woman he fucked in the ass. He has their name, where, how much he paid for them, because they were prostitutes, all of them. So I also know he wrote some books. This is, I guess, the last book that was published during his lifetime, The Adventures of King Posol, about a guy who has a harem, and then like a guy sneaks in disguised as a woman and steals one of his women, and then he gets pissed and tries to go capture them. So check it out. He's an interesting guy. And also, he comes up in another book haul when we were talking about that book, Sleazoid. What's that book? Sleazoid Express, all those Grindhouse movies from New York. One of the guys that I talked about, one of their movies is just there really isn't music. It's just the director reading Pierre Louis poems over the images. So anyway. All right, the time is drawing nigh. Ramadan's coming. The miracles of the Prophet. Mu'jizat an-Nabi li Ibn Kathir. Just something to get to know. Worth reading, I suppose. Oh, shit. They coming. They know I'm drinking before 5. Get his ass. Taser, taser. No. This beer sucks. So for that, they should let me go. Oh, that was a bad choice. Damn it, dude. Metaphysics, Constructing a Worldview. I just grabbed this because it seemed like a very introductory. Well, it's from Christian, but I think you kind of can't escape. I don't know. I just figured it's a slim volume, can read it, maybe get something out of it. Metaphysics is very important. I don't even understand much. Anyways, who cares? I don't want to dig up myself a stupid hole of stupidity. All right, a biography of Baudelaire. It was cheap. Baudelaire I like him. You know, he doesn't irk me really. Sometimes, I don't know. I don't have like an authority. If you asked me this like 4 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, well, blah, blah, you know. The reason I got it is because I'm like, well, I did want one before. Never got one. So I grabbed this. This is English. But I have his complete works. So I'm like, okay, if I have the complete works, that means something. So I'll grab the biography, maybe get something out of this. Wandering God, A Study in Nomadic Spirituality, Morris Berman. Apparently this is a book about, I don't even know if I want to, let's see if we can see anything. As I understand it, it's kind of about living nomadically and how you kind of, that's the best way to, understand that they're, religion and man. I don't know. There's a lot I could say about it because, but this isn't a religious podcast really, or video. Oh, hell yeah. Compliments of Chicago Hoods. Chicka, chicka, yeah. This book is awesome. This was only like $23. Yeah, on Amazon. So much awesome pictures of gang graffiti, compliment cards, their colors, all these old gangs from Chicago back in the day. Latin Counts, Gaylords, Four Corner Boys, all that. Insane, whatevers. Very, very cool book. Awesome, fun to flip through, and very well made. This is a really nice book, and all around. This one I bought with a gift card a while ago, Sufi Path of Knowledge. I don't know if this was in the last video, but it's just, this guy's really great, Chittick, and this is him just kind of going through Ibn Arabi's Metaphysics of Imagination, as he deems it. So, very cool book. We almost done, boy. All right. This book I was really happy to get. Missing Measures, Modern Poetry and the Revolt Against Meter. It's a case for poetry with meter and against free verse, vers libre. I like that. I rebought this. I had this ages ago, and I got rid of it. It's bilingual poems, Arabic poem, which is funny because this is the type of poems that last book would be like, ugh. Palestinian guy, kind of weird poems. I don't know. It's not Darwish. I got rid of my Muhammad Darwish book because I was like, this stuff just sucks. The The Wisdom of St. Francis and His Companions. This is by that, what is that, New Directions? What is that symbol there? It's like a bear. Sorry, guys. Anyways, they put out a lot of cool stuff. They put out a lot of Ezra Pound books and that type of stuff, people from that era. Anyways, good stuff. But this is just kind of like hadith almost. It's just like stories and sayings of St. Francis of Assisi, who's kind of a cool guy. Korean Hangul for beginners, just how to learn to read Korean. Where I work, I don't have to read Korean, but there's times where if I am able to read, it would help sometimes with matching names up. So I'm like, fuck it. Look through it when I get free time. Platonov, the main work in here is Soul. It's like about 150 pages. But there's just some other stories in here. Is that the man himself? So yeah, you got some stories. Sounds interesting. This is a weird one. A Natural History of Rape. I heard about this book in an old episode of Loveline from like 2000, maybe 2001 or 1999. Those are the good years of Loveline. I could make a whole video about Loveline. But anyways, what I'll say quickly is listen to episodes of Loveline that have no guest from 2000 to 2001. This is the great era because it's where Adam is very comfortable. He's not just the happy nasal guy there who takes tons of calls. He'll start rambling more often. Drew's very used to him. They got rid of engineer Mike, and they have Anderson, who is real quick and great and funny with the drops. Yeah, good times, as they would say. Anyway, Natural History of Rape. Biological Basis of Sexual Coercion. Doesn't that just sound like one of the weirdest books you'll ever read? So I figured, fuck it, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it. Theodore Roethke, interesting poet. I think he's worth a glance. He's kind of difficult. He's hard to, like, the point of it, I don't get. But the image, the meter is pretty cool and worthwhile. This may have been in the last one, Origin and Development of Classical Hinduism. Again, one of those small books that you can get something out of, Oh, that's what A.L. Basham, he wrote a really book like this thick called The True History of India, something like that. But it's about India before the Muslim invasion or the Mughals. Anyway, that's about it. Peace.